So that was an area where my expectations, the reality, were the furthest apart, really. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Trippin' Over 60.
Today we wanted to chat with you a little about our recent Transatlantic cruise. We are not experienced cruisers, so we did have some expectations and they didn't always line up with reality. So we thought it might be fun to share with you some of the things that we noticed during our cruise.
Yeah, so let's just get started right away. Let's start with a category of food. I like food. I like food a lot, but not necessarily particular. We're not foodies. So I think my expectations going in, I didn't expect a whole lot in the category of food. I didn't expect it to taste necessarily great.
We had some really good meals.
We did, and we did not get any kind of a package. So for the most part, we're doing the buffet. We're doing
Main dining
We
room.
and the what's the
International Cafe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And any of the things that are included with the basic fare. That's really what we had. And honestly, I was pleasantly surprised with how good the food was. I think for myself, between the International Cafe and the buffet, I was perfectly happy with the food. The variety was big, and I thought that the taste was good.
Absolutely. I agree 100% on that. So the reality was it gets a higher grade than what I had expected.
Yeah.
Also, we should mention we were on the Pacific Princess.
Pacific? We were on the Majestic Princess?
We were on the Majestic Princess on the Princess Cruise Lines.
Yeah.
Onto the category of entertainment. Glenda?
Yeah, entertainment. I guess we should define what we mean by that. So we're talking about the shows, the music in the lounges and the piazza, the games, the trivia, what was happening on the Lido Deck. All those things we're considering entertainment. So, I think we maybe had different experiences there, and I wanted to see what you thought.
So my expectations, I didn't, because it's a 14-day cruise, I didn't expect a lot of big entertainment shows. I thought that the game shows, the different things like that, I thought they were excellent. They were a lot of fun, a lot of laughs, but I didn't expect too much. As far as the big shows, though, I was spending much of that time in the casino, so I missed most of them. I think you might have to talk to that a little more.
Yeah, I did go to almost every show, and he's right, he was in the casino, but I would say that during the whole cruise, I only saw one show that really had any kind of costumes or anything, so there were no big shows. It was mainly just, duets or a single individual singing, so that was a little disappointing to me. I mean, not a big deal, but I had hoped for more, but again, it's a long cruise with no stops, so understandable. But what did you think of the casino?
Yeah, so that was an area where my expectations, the reality, were the furthest apart, really. The casino, I just thought we're going to be in international waters. We're not in port very much. I can go to the casino anytime I want and play my game. I play craps. And it just wasn't the case. Actually, the craps table was only open, I think, 8:30 at night until they took all our money at the table.
About 45 minutes.
Yeah, no. But so I only got to play a couple hours each night. So that was disappointing to me.
Yeah. I guess for me, I was hopeful for like some comedy shows or some things like that. And there really wasn't much in that line either. So overall, I would say for myself, in terms of entertainment, it was a little disappointing.
Yeah, I would agree with that. The Lido Deck experience.
The Lido Deck experience.
With the pools, the hot tubs, and any entertainment, things going on up there.
Yeah. So it turns out, and again, we're not that experienced, but it turns out the weather that we had for that transatlantic crossing at the end of February was very good. And so the cruise director had not planned any events on the Lido Deck because he said in however many cruises he's done, it's never been nice. And so he put all the entertainment inside. So really all that was available on the Lido Deck was the DJ on occasion, movies. Movies were always showing. And really that was about it, right?
There was
not a lot going on.
And we went from Fort Lauderdale to Barcelona, Spain, and that time of year. So most of that entertainment was actually at the beginning of the cruise itself when we were in the warmer weather area.
Yeah. So it was great in terms of the Lido Deck was usable. I mean, the weather was warm enough. We could spend a lot of time up there. A lot of people were up there. It's just that there really wasn't a lot to do other than just hang out in the hot tubs, which people did. And, different food venues were open in the bar. So I would say overall, it was better than my expectations just because the weather did cooperate and we were actually able to be up there.
Yeah, I would have just liked to have seen a few more things going on, but I guess because they didn't expect the weather to be so good, they weren't planning for it. So, but yeah, it was overall, it was good.
Yeah. I think next we wanted to talk a little bit about cruising for 14 days without a package. And, overall, we won't get into this in great detail because we did do another video on the advantages of package versus no package. And we'll link that in this video. But overall, I would say that there were some things that would have been convenient had we had a package. I mean, it might have been nice to have a couple more dining venue options included. The Wi-Fi, we were okay. We really kind of wanted to do a little detox. So we...
Detox from the Wi-Fi.
From the Wi-Fi. Well, probably from everything, really, because we didn't have unlimited alcohol. But so it really worked out fine to not have a package for the 14 days. And when you're on a 14-day cruise, the package is quite expensive because it's priced per day. So for us, I would say one of the disadvantages of not having a package is that you can't get drinks readily available. Like, for example, in the casino, if you're gambling, they offer free drinks. But you can't just go over to the casino bar and get a drink, even though you might be gambling. You have to have the waiter come by. Mm-hmm. And so that was, kind of disappointing because we were hoping to get a few drinks there, but,
Yeah.
So it worked.
So for me, I think that my expectations were Wi-Fi might be a little bit of a problem. We planned on getting it, and we actually did get the Wi-Fi 3 or 4 times on the cruise. I just wasn't sure how that was going to be, and it turned out that was fine, not a problem. As far as the drinks, the alcohol, I didn't think that would be a problem. We're not big drinkers, and it wasn't a problem at all. For me, I have a problem more. I'm addicted to Diet Coke. That one I was concerned about, but even that worked out fine.
Yeah, and we could purchase drinks, which we did do. Yeah. So it really was not a problem. I guess another thing that we should talk about is our room.
So I think, like, size-wise, it was pretty tight. I thought it was a little bit tighter than I expected.
I guess we should say that we did have a balcony room, and so we thought that it would be a little more spacious than an inside cabin for 14 days.
It was, yes. But yeah, it was pretty tight.
And I think the other thing is we got a balcony room because we like to spend a lot of time outside, and we expected that we'd just have our own little private happy hour out on the balcony. But as it turns out, the balcony is very small, and some days the sun was just too intense there, and then other days it might have been a little windy. But overall, in general, it was just hard to kind of maneuver on and off the patio and really enjoy the space. So I was glad that we had it because I can get a little claustrophobic, and it was great to be able to step out and feel the fresh air and see the sunshine and the waves and all that type of thing. We did spend some time looking at the ocean.
We did, and it was nice, but honestly, I don't think that I need the balcony next trip.
I don't know if I'm there yet.
We'll talk about that one. How about value for our money?
Yeah. Overall value?
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say for myself, the overall value is great. It was relaxing, super relaxing, very stress-free. Everything's provided for you. And really the cost wasn't much more than flying. Really, it wasn't any more, actually, I don't think, than flying. So I really thought it was a good value for the money, everything that you got considered.
Yeah, I thought going into it, I thought that, this is a pretty good price. So it's I was pretty happy with that. Mm-hmm. And then the actual doing the cruise, I thought, it was a good value. I enjoyed so much of the trip. And then on the other end, we did do some land tours once we got over to Europe, and we weren't experiencing any jet lag, so that was a big bonus.
Right. In ports, when you choose a transatlantic, you probably basically choose it on destination and dates. And so whatever ports you stop at are, not necessarily hand-picked. But in our case, the ports that we stopped at were, they were better than what I would have expected. It was nice. We got to go to Madeira, we're at what, Cadiz, Spain, Malaga.
Mhm.
So those were all nice stops where we really were able to get off and explore and enjoy some
Yeah,
time.
yeah, I agree with that. So in a wrap up, I think that for us, the reality actually exceeded our expectations. You
Yeah.
agree with that?
I totally would agree.
Okay.
And I think we would recommend anyone who's considering a transatlantic cruise to go ahead and take it. You will not be disappointed.
Yep, for so many reasons.
Yes.
Well, hey, we appreciate you watching this, and we hope that it gives you some guidance as you maybe plan a trip like this. So get out there and keep on tripping.